graphene, Graafian, graphene follicle. That means a mature follicle. You kind of follow me? All right, now, once ovulation occurs, now let me just mention this to you so you'll be aware of that. I don't think this one shows, okay. All right, I wanted to mention something after ovulation occurs. Now here's a follicle. I mean, here's an ovary right here, but I wanted to show you one thing. No, it doesn't show. But once ovulation occurs, there will end up being a yellow body here. That's called the carpus luteum. How many of you have ever heard that term before? Carpus luteum, the yellow body. That is going to be, first of all, it's called carpus hemorrhaginum, a little bloody spot, then carpus luteum, then carpus albicans. It's the carpus luteum that produces a very important hormone involved in maintaining pregnancy. What is it? Good job. Progesterone. Progesterone is produced by the carpus luteum. Now, the carpus luteum, after all that's gone, after that right there is gone, this scar area will become the carpus luteum. And the hormone progesterone maintains the stratum functionalis of the endometrium. Now, what's going to take over for that, or make it maintain its status quo, is going to be the human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. HCG shows up in your urine after about a week and a half of pregnancy. It shows up. That's what a pregnancy test detects. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. Human chorionic gonadotropin makes the carpus luteum, makes the progesterone, keeps it at a high level of activity. All right, but anyway, that's that part right there. That kind of gives you an idea right there.
Can you say what you're going to ask one more time?
Yeah, I will. I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask you this space right here. It's called the antrum of the follicle. I'm going to ask you what this entire structure might be. The entire thing is called the graphene follicle. I might say, okay, well, I'm sorry. The entire structure of the graphene follicle. Identify these cells right here. That's going to be the corona radiata. I won't ask you this. It's kind of a funny name. But the stalk of attachment right here, this little attaching cell, that's called a cumulus oophrus. You see that term, cumulus oophrus. That's right now. Cumulus oophrus. And then I have asked, I'll have a good one where you see this darker, it usually shows up as a little darker line called the zona pellucida. Zona pellucida.
Little thin line?
Yes. The zona pellucida. That could be asked on this. And see, it shows up on this one as a real thin line, a little thin purple right there.
Mm-hmm.
Zona pellucida. Okay? And so there it is. And like that, okay, this is in the ovary. And we'll talk about this in lecture. We'll also talk about it. But on the lab test, that's just kind of, lab test is kind of like, you heard that old term, monkey see, monkey do. You look at it, you identify it. You don't have to figure anything out. You just identify it on the lab test. So that's kind of what's coming down on that. All right, so that is an ovary. That is just kind of showing that. And this is probably this is a halfway decent slide. It's pretty good. That shows the cumulus area more better right there. If we had cells in there, cumulus oophrus, it shows that a little bit better. But again, that's not a big issue with us. This is not the best slide. It does pretty good, but it's not the best. But anyway, that would be those slides. Okay, and the typical view of this. Lost it. The typical view of this would be like maybe like that one right there in the center, or where was the other one? There was another one in there that would be more like what we might go for. That's kind of small, but that's not too bad down there. But anyway, there it is. There is the okay. Now, really, about all we lack on these slides I don't know if we can tell anything about the mammary gland, the inactive. I'm not going to go for the lactating thing. One thing we need to do is look at a uterus. I can show you. Let me show you a uterus real quick with the endometrial glands. We can look at the uterine slide. You don't have one in your box there. We also have to look at an inactive mammary gland. It shows lobules. There might be one of those right here, and I do want to show you the uterus. So you can see the endometrium and myometrium. We'll have one of those. It'll be on display over there. And let me see.
That stuff will be on the test too? The inactive mammary gland?
I know what we ought to do first. Since we looked at the ovary, we've got one of the. Well, we can come back and do the mammary gland. Wait, here's a mammary right here. Just a minute. Here's an inactive mammary gland right here. Inactive, that means it's not lactating. And on the inactive mammary gland, I don't know if you can tell hardly anything about it. You can't really see a whole lot about it. That's supposed to be an inactive mammary gland. See if you can find that in Russ's book. Anybody have your Russ with you?
Yeah.
See if you can find an inactive mammary gland. Not a whole lot about that one. We need to find one that shows good lobules. L-O-B-U-L-E-S, lobules. You have one? You have a mammary in your resting? Yeah, let me see yours. It might be better than this one. And also, see if you see one on your, see if you see one in rust. The resting, that means it's not lactating. That's all that means. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. In the resting mammary. All right. Those are the lobules. Find that in rust. Anybody find it? Anybody got rust in it? Did you find it? Did you come off the book?
The purple part of the lobules?
Yeah, I'm going to show you. You find the mammary? All right, like Kipper's duck. Okay. All right, there's the mammary lactating, mammary pregnant. Mammary non-pregnant. Okay. Okay. Mammary. Okay, look, everybody. All right, look. Okay, here's the thing, y'all. That's a better slide than one I had. In the non-pregnant and not lactating, these things are lobules. And if you'll look in Russ's book, on page 91, you will see, all right, and it's 91 actually, 91A. 91A is kind of like this. And you'll see the word lobule. There's a lobule. I might ask you to identify this structure, lobule. Yeah, this whole thing right there. There's another one over there. And a lactiferous duct, I don't usually ask that, but that would be the lobule. The lactiferous duct, I think, is these things right here, according to Rust. Lactiferous duct, these things right here, lobules. So on an inactive, I'm not going to go with the active mammary gland and all that stuff, for lactating and all that business. I'm not going to that. So we can do that part right there. We can at least do that much right there, can't we? We can do that much without any problem. Okay? Everybody see that pretty good? You get that all right? Now, let me show you something else real quick. And we're about lining these slides. One other thing that works pretty good, it's pretty easy to see, is in the rat testes and the seminiferous tubule and where spermatogenesis occurs. Now let me tell you this. Let me show you this one. Now this is going to be a spermatogenesis. It's going to show. Let me show you something. Okay, that's good. That's going to be good. All right. Seminiferous tubules are highly coiled. They're in the testicle. The seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules under the influence of a female hormone called follicle-stimulating hormone. Under the influence of the follicle-stimulating hormone produced by the male, then the cells of the seminiferous tubules produce sperm cells. All right, now if we, right in here, now let me show y'all something. These, see, this is highly coiled. So these are cross sections through a seminiferous tubule. This is, these little black dots right there, those are called interstitial cells. The interstitial cells produce the hormone testosterone. They're responsible for that hormone, testosterone. The follicle-stimulating hormone causes this area right here, the tubule, to produce spermatozoa. Now, if we go to a higher power, let me show you. You go to a higher power, there is a somewhat focused there. All right, the spermatozoa